Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Lapointe, research professor with Florida Atlantic University's Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute. I've spent decades studying water quality issues throughout Florida, including nutrient pollution and harmful algal blooms. This project with the Florida Chamber provides me and my colleagues an opportunity to share this research so the public can better understand how human activities are impacting Florida's water resources.
Well, the University of Florida has actually studied the economic importance of our springs, and the direct economic impact of springs, of an individual spring, is actually tens of millions of dollars a year, and that's just looking at the recreational importance and tourism dollars that springs can produce. But springs are also a window into our aquifer, the aquifer that we rely on to water our crops, the water we drink, and from that perspective, springs are a multi-billion-dollar asset for this state.
Almost all of our major springs are outstanding Florida waters, so they're supposed to have the highest level of water protection. There's supposed to be no degradation of those waters, and yet all these major springs are degrading now, and nitrate levels are going up, flows are going down, populations of organisms where we have them are changing. You know, there's impairments showing up everywhere.
What you find is that when DEP goes in and studies these areas, the springs in particular, and I think this is true frankly for any water body, there are really 5 sources of where the nutrients are coming from: septic tanks, wastewater treatment plants, stormwater systems, agricultural operations, and fertilizers from residential lawn use.
When you have a septic tank next to the water and it's not working correctly, you can virtually see it. You can see it. But the fact is that in the aquifer, if the septic tank isn't working right, that water gets into the aquifer and it comes out the springs in our bay. And it is having an effect. And people are completely unaware of this.
The septic tanks were not designed to remove nitrates. They were designed to protect our drinking water from harmful bacteria. So almost no nitrates are taken up by the septic tank system. They come right out of the end of the drain field and down into the aquifer. And we have dye trace studies that prove that that is what's happening.
The real concern now is to find a way to adequately manage that source of nutrient loading to the aquifer, which is coming from the multitude of individual septic tanks that are either exist already in this basin or are on their way, given the development projections.
Each of us that live in the spring recharge area has a role to play. If we all flush toilets every day, some fertilize their lawns, some irrigate their lawns, and we have turned out to be sloppy housekeepers. We need to do a much better job of how we live on the land. Education is a big role, but for those that won't change their behavior after they're educated, we need regulations to require their behavior to be changed.